What's good? Here's video number 2 of today. The angrier video. Gosh, what was I going to title this? Oh, not to rub it in or whatever, but I told you so. I told you so. What am I talking about? A few weeks ago, maybe months ago, time all blends together. I made a video. I've made a few videos kind of discussing this topic, but the topic of civil war, of civil strife, of social division and conflict, particularly in liberal areas, and how I believe they are just being used as pawns or useful idiots for the oligarchs to destabilize society, so that way they can justify the consolidation of control and resources. And I was wrong, and I admit partially I was wrong. I thought the Seattle people would wait until, maybe early summer or late spring for when the weather gets better, because they're generally fair weather activists, fake ass activists. But I was wrong. They've already started. And so there are sort of two things that have happened in Seattle recently that I want to talk about. The first one is all of these protests in Seattle around women's rights and around science, which is just so fucking hilarious that the party and group of people who literally cannot define what a woman is are claiming to be on the side of science. And I'm not a conservative, and I understand that's kind of a cliche conservative sort of retort or response, but it's friggin' true. It is true. These are also the people that are very, very pro the sticky thing in your body that is actually not good for you. People who support Anthony Fauci without realizing how fucking evil he actually is. There was even one person who had a sign on their dog that said "Dogs Against Doge," which is funny because let's bring up Anthony Fauci and Doge again. Anthony Fauci and his cohort were doing horrible experiments on dogs. Horrible experiments, locking beagles' heads in containers and then filling it with sand fleas or something like that? Some sort of insect that was eating at their heads. So that's why I hate Seattle progressives. I don't love Elon Musk. I don't want this transhumanist agenda that the globalists are trying to push for. But you all are helping them. It's so frustrating. If you've seen any of my videos, go watch my shorts. That's usually where I post my volunteering videos. I love dogs. Dogs are just the best. Diogenes the philosopher, he knew what was up. And then, also one more little thing. These activists are protesting the stopping of giving children child sex reassignment therapeutics in the form of medicines, coffee, hormone blockers. Some people are getting top surgery. Some underage people are absolutely getting top surgery. The numbers are very small, but I would bet money that bottom surgeries are also happening for minors. This person named Chaz Jennings comes to mind. I think she or he, whatever, was 17 maybe when they got their bottom surgery. That's just fucked up. And what makes it so much, for me personally, right, so much worse, and this is why I always talk about how progressives hate the working class, they ain't saying shit about the fucking homelessness epidemic that is destroying this state, and then the addiction issues that come with it, and the crime that comes with it. There are Seattle has experienced a significant net loss of businesses as a result of the crazy minimum wage and the crime. But that's good for the ruling class because that's going to drive down property values. And then they can come in and buy it at a discount and then continue to corporatize and conglomerize the fucking country. I hate progressives. I'm sorry. You're just virtue signaling over luxury beliefs, not actually doing anything. How many of you are housing a homeless person in your house? That's actually doing something. But in a lot of areas, to the best of my knowledge in Seattle, you're not allowed to, or it's really difficult to build what are known as accessory dwelling units. They used to be called like mother-in-law units. So either attached or detached additional dwelling spaces on your property. Just NIMBY bitches. NIMBY not in my backyard bitches. That's again, the Seattle Champagne socialist NIMBY fucking bitches. They care about everything, but they just don't want it to deal with it in their little neighborhoods. They're insulated neighborhoods because they have wealth, because they're fucking... Okay, let's move to the next subject. The whole Tesla, Elon Musk is a Nazi thing. I already made a video. Go watch that video unpacking the Elon Musk is a Nazi psyop. He's totally not a Nazi. But it benefits the ruling class to have people think he is and to engage in social destabilization. For example, there was a Tesla dealership or repair shop here in Seattle that was attacked, and many, many, many vehicles were destroyed, damaged, vandalized. Which, you know, I will make maybe this one concession. If you hate the cronyist government, the cronyist fascistic government, destroying the property of a mega corporation, okay, I'm less judgmental about that. However, when it crosses the line into destroying private property, like the people who own the Teslas, if it's their car, that's where I say draw the line. That person invested their money into capital. That's what a vehicle is. It is a form of capital for their life. And you are directly fucking up someone else's life. Like another person like you and like me. Well, not like me because I can't afford a Tesla, but, and I get that you don't like people who buy Teslas. I get that, but just don't damage other people's private property. Go after the corporations. I'm not advocating for that. What I'm saying actually is I'm going to judge you less if you attack the corporate infrastructure directly. That's what I'm saying. Attack the corporate infrastructures directly. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but that's what I'm saying. Because you're just alienating more people. And just think about this for a minute, right? Think about if your actions prevent someone from going to their job to support their family. All because they drive a Tesla? Do you want that on your karma? Do you want that on your karma? And that's the thing that the left doesn't ever think about. They don't ever think about their karma and how their actions permeate the broader universe and experience of this reality. And that's because they've been brainwashed and propagandized and manipulated. It's very much like, I think of Star Wars. I know this is a little nerdy direction to go, but what is it? Anger leads to hate. That's me trying to do Yoda. Totally fucked it up. Hate leads to the dark side. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh man, but that's what they've done, is that they've honed in on this anger of people, this justified anger, and they're directing it and manipulating these people. And I'm an angry person myself too. If you've watched my videos, you'll know that. But in my videos, I say I don't want to be this person. I've been trying so hard to just grow past it or to transmute this anger. And I feel like I'm making progress. A comment I didn't make in my last video that I wanted to make, but I'll throw it in here at the end of this one. I like kind of who I'm becoming. I watch back my more recent videos and the smiles that I'm giving, the laughs that I'm projecting, I'm feeling more joy, and I'm letting go of that anger, and I like the person I'm becoming. I still have work to do, but I'm on the right path, and it feels good to finally be on the right path. Now, just time to work. And I'll end the video with one of my favorite Zen. It's a koan or an expression or whatnot. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. I'll let you think about that for a while, but to me it just means work. Much love, y'all.